All righty. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers Virtual College Fair. My name's Matt. I'm going to be your facilitator for the evening. And as our attendees start rolling in, I'm going to go through a few housekeeping announcements for our attendees. For starters, as attendees, you guys are able to use the Q&A button at any time to type your questions out to our presenters. And a reminder that your camera and your microphone are off. So our panelists here, they can't see or hear you, meaning the Q&A button is your only way to get your questions asked and answered. So I highly recommend using that at any time. A reminder that this is just one of many sessions happening tonight. So feel free to sign up for more sessions at strivescan.com/Carolinas. And this session is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, strivescan.com/Carolinas. And without any further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter from Anglia Ruskin University.
Thanks. I'll just share screen. Can I just check that everybody can see my screen that I'm sharing there?
Yep, we can see it.
Perfect. Hi guys, so I'm Katie Lates. I'm from Anglia Ruskin University in the UK, based in the beautiful city of Cambridge. I only got 6 minutes, so this is going to be a real whistle-stop tour of the university, but I want to start by saying I'm going to make a single promise to you, which is the promise that we make to all of our students. At ARU, it's all about you. We're dedicated to turning your greatest ambitions into career opportunities. And no matter what you come to study at ARU, career, employability, entrepreneurship is woven through every aspect of the university. So what I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to go through quickly why you should study in the UK, why you should study with ARU, a bit about our location, subject areas, your career, and what the next steps are. So hopefully you've joined this session because you're interested in studying in the UK, and it's great that you are. UK graduates are proven to be the most desirable in the world. We've got a huge range of top universities in the UK, and we're internationally renowned for higher education. We're globally recognised with hundreds of accreditations and degree awards, and highly valued in terms of the research output in the UK. So if you can come and study at any UK university, you'll know that you're on for a winner in terms of whatever prospects you've got after graduation. So why ARU? We're ranked amongst the best. We're one of the top 350 universities in the world and top 50 in the UK. And that's ranked from the Times Higher Education over a number of years. And in terms of ARU, we're innovative, but with a proud history. So we're a fairly new university in UK sense, but actually we were founded in 1858 as the Cambridge School of Art. So our roots and our heart is really in art and design, but now the university offers a diverse range of over 250 different degree courses. We're vibrant, inclusive, multicultural, and across 2 campuses. And I'm going to talk to you a bit about our location in a second. We're one of 20 global rising stars in higher education, and we're really about investing in your future. I mentioned employability before, and that's really important to us. And part of that is around giving you access to cutting edge technology and equipment. And we've invested a huge amount of money to ensure that students, no matter whether you're studying fine art or forensic science, you've got access to the best facilities to ensure that whenever you step outside into the world of the workplace, that you've had experience of using that type of equipment previously. So I mentioned our location. We've got 2 campuses you can see on screen there. So Cambridge and Chelmsford. I'm sure Cambridge doesn't need much of an introduction. Hopefully you've all heard of the city of Cambridge, even if it's just from the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. But Cambridge is a beautiful city. We're very close to London, less than 50 minutes from central London. Chelmsford is even closer, and we're also close to all 4 major international airports. So Cambridge is renowned as a centre for learning since the 13th century. We're known worldwide for our history, architecture, cultural appeal. We're very vibrant. And a reason that we're so vibrant as a city is we've got 2 universities, 2 large universities within a fairly small city with around 35,000 students. We're a very safe city as well. And you can see on screen there some of the beautiful photos of my city of Cambridge. We've also got a campus out in Chelmsford in Essex, which is different in terms of the feel of the city, but it is also vibrant, it's safe, it's green, it's modern, and it's actually rated as one of the top 10 cities in the UK to live. Importantly, it's close to London, so it's 32 minutes from central London, but much more affordable than living in the centre of London. I've only got 6 minutes and we've got a huge portfolio. And this is a very busy slide. So obviously if you've got questions about our portfolio, do message me. But we've got things from sort of business and law across medicine, sciences, engineering, and all of the arts and humanities. So hopefully whatever you're interested in, you can see an area that sort of relates to that on screen. Obviously this is just subject areas rather than actually courses. I mentioned before about employability, and as I mentioned, it's really important to us that you're going to walk away with a degree that employers want. ARU is actually ranked 5th in the country for UK undergraduate employment. Most of our courses, about 95% of our courses, offers internships and paid placements. So whatever degree you're looking to study, you can be sure that you'll get some experience as part of that degree. And we're actually known locally, sort of within the UK, as Silicon Fen, which is obviously a play on Silicon Valley. And a reason for that is we're a real hub in the UK for science and technology-based companies, with over 1,500 different companies. But we're also the home of sort of computing and computer gaming. We're actually home to 18% of the UK's computer games workforce. Part of the reason also that we have such a high employability rate and it's so easy to find part-time work is the attraction of all of those sort of big business, whether that's Arm, who make all of the components for iPhones, whether that's sort of Sony or the companies like Microsoft that have got their research and development UK headquarters in Cambridge. All of that attracts lots of different business, which means finding part-time work is easy, but equally access to things like those paid placements and internships is really easy as well. I'll skip over the next one. So entry requirements and fees. We've got 3 different entry points at undergraduate. For students that need extra support, we've got foundation. For students that need a little bit of support, we've got a first year integrated program, and then we've got the standard. You can see on screen there the fees, how to apply information, and contact us. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you so much. And next we will hear from the University of Essex.
Thank you. Sorry, let me just start by sharing my screen. Hopefully you can all see that. So hi everyone, my name is Emma and I am one of the recruitment representatives at the University of Essex. So in keeping with this 6x6 theme, I have put together 6 of my favourite things about Essex. So first up is location. The University of Essex has 3 campuses. They are located in Colchester, Southend and Loughton. Colchester is the largest of our 3 campuses and where the majority of our courses are taught and where most of our students study. That's a picture of it at the bottom of the screen. It sits on 200 acres of beautiful award-winning parkland. In terms of location, you can see at the top there a map of the United Kingdom. We are located, in my opinion, at the perfect distance to London. We're close enough if you want to get into the city of London, but we're far enough away so you can really notice a difference in prices. Colchester is the UK's oldest recorded town, so we have some really beautiful Roman architecture around the town itself. You can see in that picture a picture of a castle that sits in Castle Park in Colchester town itself. In the UK, we're not really known for our glorious sunshine, but we do have some of the UK's best weather. So if living somewhere that is relatively dry and relatively sunny is important to you, then Essex could be a good fit for you. Probably one of my favourite things about where we're located is the fact that we've got a little bit of everything. So you can see on that map, we're located in the southeast of the UK. We're really close to the coast, so we have some really beautiful beaches that are close to us. We're close to the City of London. There's some really beautiful countryside that surrounds the campus and Colchester itself. And there's some lovely villages and towns close by as well. Okay, so next up is academic teaching. We are rated gold in the Teaching Excellence Framework, which is the highest accolade, so that is a testament to the quality of the teaching. We're a research-led university and we're recognised for the quality of our research, so we're top 25 for research quality. We are a university that's really well known for our social sciences, so in particular subjects that include politics, sociology, criminology, international relations and economics. These are subjects that we are consistently well ranked for. Also, our Essex Business School is in the top 2% worldwide. And we have a really interdisciplinary approach to our teaching. So you might be studying a subject that sits in our social sciences faculty, but you can pick different classes or modules from other departments that might be in our humanities faculty, as an example. So you can really shape the degree around your interests and what's important to you. We have a huge wide range of subjects, which I don't have enough time to go into, but there is a link at the bottom of that page if you did want to explore our subjects in a bit more detail. Okay, so number 3 is student life. We have over 160 different sports clubs and societies, so I'm sure that there will be something, a club or society that you would join that you would be interested in. If not, there are opportunities for students to even start their own societies. But like I said, there's over 160, so I'm sure that there would be at least a few that would take your interest. We guarantee on-campus accommodation for our first year students, so you would get to live on campus. Our Colchester campus has kind of like a mini city vibe where everything you could possibly need is on campus, so you'll be living on campus. All of your study facilities, lecture theatres, etc. would be on campus. We have all sorts of facilities like a cinema, theatre, etc. We're actually ranked 7th for spend on services and facilities per student. So we're pumping money back into our campuses so that students can take advantage of the facilities that are on campus. And a couple of examples actually are a brand new STEM centre, and we have amazing and new sports facilities, including state-of-the-art basketball and volleyball facilities. Okay, so cost effective. As just mentioned, degrees in England are 3 years. So already that's 1 whole year's worth of fees that you don't have to pay for. And our fees at Essex are also really competitive. They do vary slightly from course to course, but typically speaking, you would be looking at paying approximately £16,500 to £19,500 per academic year. And we do offer some really competitive scholarships as well. So our America's Regional Scholarship is worth £3,000 towards your tuition. We also offer a number of really competitive sports scholarships as well. And we have an IB Excellence Scholarship, which is based on merit and is automatic. We are also FAFSA accredited, so if you're wondering how you might fund your studies, then you can use federal aid to fund your studies at Essex. Okay, so employability. We have some amazing opportunities, including a placement year. So if you're particularly career orientated, then loads of our courses offer an opportunity for you to do a placement year. So that would mean that you would do your 1st and 2nd year at university, you would then do a placement year, and you would come back and complete your studies in your 4th year. So for students that are particularly, as I mentioned, career orientated, it's a really good opportunity. 91% of our undergraduate students are in employment or further studies. That's a really high percentage of our students that have either gone straight into a job or they've decided to carry on with studying, possibly gone to do a master's once graduating. Employability modules are built into our undergraduate degrees, and there's all sorts of support whilst you're at university to help you network and career events on campus too. Very quickly, one of my favourite things about Essex is just how international the university is. We're 4th in the UK for International Outlook. It's our students and staff from all over the world, and it's also reflected in our curriculum. And almost 40% of our students are from outside the UK. So you would study, live and work with people from all over the world. And I think I just have time to quickly share my contact details. So do get in contact with me if you have any further questions.
Great. Thank you so much. And next we will hear from Cardiff University.
Great, thank you. I'm just going to share my screen. Sorry, always feels like it takes about 3 hours to share it. So my name is Rachel and I'm an international officer at Cardiff University, which is in Wales in the UK. So I'm going to start by giving you a bit of an overview of Cardiff University. So we are a traditional UK university established in 1883, and we combine that kind of prestigious heritage with really impressive modern facilities. So it's a mix of old and new, which is kind of reflected in the pictures that I've put on this slide here. So we are one of the largest universities in the UK. We have about 33,000 students, and within that around 8,500 are international from over 130 different countries. So it's a really diverse multicultural environment. We have 3 separate colleges, which I'll come on to in a moment, but split into 24 different academic schools. So there's really kind of something for everyone, and we have over 300 different bachelor's degrees to choose from. We're particularly well known for our research, and we're 5th in the UK for research quality, but we're also a member of the Russell Group. So we're the only one in Wales, but the Russell Group, for those of you who aren't familiar, is the 24 leading research intensive universities in the UK. So it's a mark of quality and shows that you'll be being taught by academics who are really kind of cutting edge in their fields. We're also consistently highly ranked both within the UK and internationally, and we're currently 159th in the world in the QS World Rankings. So as I mentioned, we're split into 3 different colleges. So the first is the College of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, and it's split into 10 different schools. So obviously I won't list all of our programs because I can't, but some of the really popular ones with US students tend to be things within our Journalism, Media and Culture school. We're one of the best schools in the UK for journalism in particular, but we're also really popular for things like politics, international relations, history and archaeology as well, and many, many more. We also have a College of Biomedical and Life Sciences. Particularly popular courses in that area tend to be things like biosciences, and they're great programs because they offer things like integrated masters, so you could do a bachelor's and a master's in 4 years, or professional placement years as well. And a lot of our other programs do offer those too. And finally, our College of Physical Sciences and Engineering. So again, popular courses with US students tend to be things like computer science, environmental sciences as well. Yeah, many, many more, and all available on our website with lots of details as well. So I wanted to just kind of list a few facts about Cardiff that I think help to kind of demonstrate what we're about. So as I mentioned, we're a member of the Russell Group, so definitely research is something that really underpins our kind of way of teaching. We also have great facilities. So being a large university, you've got a huge range of facilities on offer. We have 16 different libraries. So you've got lots of IT suites, 24-hour study facilities. And one of the things that the university is really committed to is investment in student facilities. So this is kind of defined by our new Centre for Student Life, which I'll show you in a slide in a moment, but that should be due for completion this year and is going to be a huge kind of area right in the centre of the university that's going to house our Students' Union and bring together all of our student facilities and support services. So it's a real demonstration of commitment to the student experience. We also enable every student to study a language, regardless of what they're studying for their degree. And we have great graduate prospects as well. So 95% of our graduates are in employment or further study shortly after graduating. We also have one of the best students' unions in the UK. So it's top, I think it's number 3 at the moment. So it's consistently kind of top 5. But we have over 200 different societies to choose from. You've also got lots of sports teams as well. And it's kind of the beating heart of the university in the sense that that's where you're going to spend a lot of your time outside of your studies. We're also consistently highly ranked, as I mentioned, and we guarantee accommodation for international students for every year of your degree. So certainly in the first year, it's definitely what I would recommend. All of our rooms are single occupancy and most have their own bathroom as well. And then a little fun fact for you as well, we're often used as a film set. So Cardiff is really regularly used for filming these days as well. But Doctor Who, Sherlock and Historic Materials have all used Cardiff University. So if you keep an eye out, you might get to see us on film. So this is an artist version of the Centre for Student Life that I mentioned, which is really right in the middle of the university and is going to be a really kind of impressive facility for students that's due to be finished this year. So yeah, watch this space, but it's coming along nicely. So one of the best parts about studying at Cardiff University is the location. So we're based right in the heart of the capital city of Wales, which you can see on the map there. We're about 2 hours west of London. It's a very compact city, so we have about 350,000 people, but it's a really diverse city as well, so 94 languages spoken within the city itself. And it's very much a student city, so about 20% of the population is students, and it's very safe, very friendly, very affordable, so a really great place to kind of combine everything you'd expect from a capital city, but not maybe the cost or the size that you would maybe anticipate. It's also a really green city. So there's a picture here of Butte Park, which is just next to the university and is a huge park right in the city centre. You've got Cardiff Castle kind of poking out of the trees there as well. We're also really well known for shopping. So we have lots of Victorian shopping arcades, which is also this picture here, which are full of independent shops, cafes, restaurants, and a really cool place to explore. We have over 330 different parks and gardens. So again, even though it's not very big, a huge amount of green space and really easy access to everything that Wales has to offer in terms of national parks, beautiful beaches, and much, much more. So I'll end on that in terms of kind of what Wales has to offer in case you're not familiar. We have more castles per square mile than any other country in Europe. We have our own language, which you don't have to be able to speak. Everyone speaks English, but it's definitely something that kind of sets us apart from the rest of the UK. We also arguably have the best flag out of any other country. It has a dragon on it, which I think I showed you a couple of slides ago. And we have lots of interesting foods that are kind of national dishes as well that are definitely worth trying. So I think I'm out of time, but I'll leave you with my contact details. But obviously feel free to ask me any questions in the chat and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much. And next we will hear from the American University of Paris.
Bonjour, my name is Jen Boucher, and I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions with the American University of Paris. AUP is a private, urban, liberal arts university located in the heart of Paris, France. We are in the same neighborhood, the 7th arrondissement, as the Eiffel Tower. We're also an American university just located in Paris. So all the classes are in English. We offer those 4-year, fully accredited liberal arts American degrees. This university has over 1,000 students from 100 countries. No matter what class you're in, you're going to have very diverse perspectives, not only based on students' research, but also based on their personal backgrounds, beliefs, their upbringing, what makes them who they are today. About half our students do come from the US, but at the same time, many are dual citizens, multilingual, well-traveled, or at the very least have a desire for a global career. So all in all, the students come in with that international mindset. 16 is the average class size, 9:1 is the student to professor ratio. And just like our students, the faculty come from all over the world, about 30 countries, and 70% speak 3 or more languages. We have 26 majors and 39 minors in the fields of business, politics, communications, arts, and humanities with an international emphasis. We're also very big on experiential learning and interdisciplinary education. So you could find yourself taking a more traditional class, but then going out into the city to explore. As you know, we are located in the 7th arrondissement in Paris, France. This is the same neighborhood as the Eiffel Tower that you see to your left. Alto des Invalides, where Napoleon's buried, is to the right, and those circled buildings are where we are located. We are indeed an open urban campus. It's roughly a 10 or 15-minute walk across the entire campus area, but usually 5 or 10 minutes walking distance between classes. We have tons of clubs, events, activities, volunteering, all on campus. But at the same time, you can also participate in a wide variety of events. So one of my favorites is called the World's Fair. This is very similar to a college fair, but every table is a different country with food from their homeland. So bon appetit. We also offer study trips. These are where students travel all over the world with their professor and classmates to experience what they're learning in the classroom in person. Shakespeare in London, psychology in Cairo, film in the Netherlands, art and architecture in Venice, politics in Israel. Those are a few of the 45 trips we offer for students per year. Additionally, we also offer non-academic trips called cultural excursions. These are fun trips throughout France that range from a theater performance or perfume making class in Paris to visiting cities and regions like Normandy and Nice for the weekend. Housing is a little bit unique compared to most universities. Instead of your traditional dorm with the RA and the meal plan, we have more of an independent styled housing for our students. Housing is guaranteed and required for freshmen for the first year or for transfer students for the first semester. But the type of housing will vary since we're making some changes due to COVID-19. And we do have a housing office that will find and furnish residences for our students. These can vary, but they can be apartments, hotels converted into resident halls, or even smaller versions of resident halls at times. To apply to AUP, you would fill in the common application or apply to AUP directly. These are all of the application requirements. For your transcripts, the average GPA is 3.3 unweighted. Average SAT is 1265. Average ACT is 30. There's no required GPA to apply to AUP, and we are test optional, always have been even before COVID-19. We accept applicants for the fall and spring entry, but fall, of course, is when we get the vast majority of the applicants. So we typically begin reading applications in mid-November, and from that point forward, it's on with rolling admission. So you should hear a response within about 3 to 4 weeks. We have 20,000 alumni in 145 countries all over the world, and they work at companies like Chanel, Google, and the United Nations. So if you're looking for an international career, we could be an amazing starting point for you. We also have a career office that assists students with everything from resume and cover letter proofreading to mock interviews. And we send out a global talent brochure to employers in the area to hire our students for both jobs and internships. 94% of our students have a job or are in grad school within 1 year of graduation. 80% report an international element to their career, and 50% report that a professor personally helped them on their career path. And that is a wrap from me. And once more, Jen Boucher with the American University of Paris. Feel free to be in touch. We have counselors based all over the US, so they'd be sure to get in touch with you within the same or a similar time zone. Merci for your time, and we hope to see you in Paris.
Great, thank you so much. So originally we were supposed to hear from Cabot University next, but they're not here at the moment, so we will skip over them and hear next from the University of East Anglia.
Cheers, thank you very much. I'm just going to quickly share this one. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much. So my name is Graham Wise, and I work for the University of East Anglia, so better known as UEA. So UEA is a campus-based university in the east of the UK. We're home to just over 16,000 students. And of those 16,000, we have around 4,000 international students from about 100 different countries. So a very diverse and a very multicultural university. We're also a research-intensive university, and research is very much embedded into all of our programs at UEA. So just to highlight a few of our key achievements here. So UEA is very well ranked both in the UK but also in the world as well. As you can see here, ranked in the top 25 in the UK, but also in the top 200 in the world as well. Just a good recognition of the university. We also achieved a gold award in the Teaching Excellence Framework to assess the quality of teaching in the UK. And we are on around 20 universities to achieve that award. So this is the campus of UEA. So as I said, it's an all-inclusive campus with accommodation guaranteed for international students in their first year of study at UEA. And we have lots of different options, ensuite, private rooms, shared rooms, all located around our campus, and some accommodation options located off our campus as well, which you can see in the top right of your screen. We're very lucky to have a sports park on our campus as well, as you can see right in the centre here. It's got lots of kind of indoor and outdoor sports for students to take part in, and lots of competitive and non-competitive sports as well. And then as well as that, we have lots of the kind of amenities that you'd expect at a modern UK university. So we have our 24/7 library, and we have our street, which, you know, we've got your bank, post office, we've got kind of lots of cafes and restaurants throughout the campus. And we have our very active student union there as well. And our student union is home to around just over 200 clubs and societies, ranging from sports to international student societies. We have a very active US student society, really is something for everyone in terms of social life at the university. As well as that, we have lots of modern teaching facilities, as well as a medical centre and a dentist as well. So again, everything you kind of need in a very inclusive campus. One facility I'd like to mention as well is the Sainsbury Centre of Visual Arts. So it's an art gallery located on our campus. It's home to lots of exhibitions from all over the world. It's free to enter for students and the general public. And you may recognise the building. It also doubles up as the Avengers headquarters. So it was featured in the Age of Ultron films, and we had the Avengers on our campus filming quite a few years ago now. So hopefully, maybe one day in the future, they'll return to UEA. So just in terms of entry requirements at the university, what I would say with the requirements, it's very much a bespoke process. So if there's any students who are thinking of applying or who are interested, then it's always good to reach out to a staff member like myself. We can go through it with you. But generally speaking, we accept the high school graduate diploma and AP exams, so usually around 3 APs. Some courses will require you to take an interview, usually our health sciences courses, and all of our applications are made on UCAS. And with UCAS, you'll need to submit references, and obviously you'll need to write a personal statement as well. So where are we located? So we are in the city of Norwich in the east of the UK. So Norwich is about an hour and a half to 2 hours from London. We're about maybe just under an hour to Cambridge, and we also have an international airport in Norwich as well. So it's a very well-connected city, not just to the rest of the UK, but also to Europe as well. We're a coastal city, so the closest beach to Norwich is probably about a 40-minute drive away. So there's lots of great countryside and lots of great beaches to explore, especially in the summer. It's a really popular thing to do amongst people who live in Norwich. Norwich is very much a blend of the old and the new. So we have our historical castles and cathedrals, but we also have our brand new shopping centres, cinemas, all those kind of stuff as well. So really great entertainment in Norwich, great shopping, and it's also known as one of the safest cities in the UK as well. And it's something we really pride ourselves on in Norwich. So UEA's undergraduate degrees, so they will be, and this is the kind of standard for most degrees in the UK, will be 3 years in length. They can be extended to 4 years if you choose to do a year abroad or a placement year option, but the standard is 3-year programs. Our programs are very flexible. They're not as flexible as they are in the US. You do apply for your subject and that's what you study, but you do have options to choose lots of different modules within your subject area to allow you to kind of tailor the degree to your own area of interest. Degrees at UEA are very cost effective, ranging from around £17,000 to around £21,000 per year of study. And in terms of teaching, it varies from course to course, but generally speaking, you expect around 20 hours a week of contact time. So contact time, we mean lectures, seminars, workshops, lab work, that kind of stuff. And the rest of the time being made up of independent study, so doing essays, coursework, and research as well. At UEA, best known for our literature and creative writing programs, programs in international development, and of course environmental sciences. But we have a wide variety of other programs on offer at the university. So just touch on a few extra bits of information here. So we have lots of guaranteed and application-based scholarships for students from the US, ranging from around £4,000 to £8,000 per year. So they're really generous awards. And with those, it's a simple application, and we really encourage students, if they were applying to UEA, also apply for any scholarship that you may be eligible for. As said earlier, UEA is very cost effective. Accommodation at the university will range from around £80 to £160 per week. So again, it's a very kind of cost effective place to live, and that includes all bills as well. And yeah, just to touch on as well, again, it's a very good social life at the university, lots of different clubs and societies. We have a live music venue on our campus as well. So it's a really, creates a very vibrant campus atmosphere. But yeah, that's pretty much all for me. So thank you very much for listening. And if you do have questions, obviously feel free to post those in the chat. And if not, you have my email address here if you wanted to reach out to me separately.
Great. Thank you so much. So unfortunately, John Cabot University wasn't able to make it, but the show must go on. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to invite all of our panelists to turn their cameras back on. And I'm going to go in order and give each of our presenters an opportunity to answer some of the questions that we have for them, just so you guys can learn a little bit more about each university more than what they just presented. So the first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? I'm going to start with Anglia Ruskin University, and each school will have about 20 to 30 seconds to answer. So Anglia Ruskin University, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So the things that I'd think about, so maybe 3 things: be open-minded, reach out, current students will always, or current or past students are always going to be more than happy to give you their sort of thoughts and feelings and about studying at the university. And remember, the academic part of university is only part of your experience. Have a think about what else is important to you in terms of sort of student life as well, not just the subject matter.
Great, thank you. Next, University of Essex.
Thank you. Katie stole what I was going to say. I was going to suggest speaking to students. I think it's really, really important to speak to current students. Lots of our universities will be on platforms where you can reach out to current students. So if there's a particular subject you're interested in, do see if you can find a student that is studying that subject and speak to them. But the other thing that I had thought of is virtual open days. Obviously, we would love it for you to be on our campus and come over and visit them in person. Given the current global situation, it's not possible, but I would really recommend you check out our virtual open days. Lots of our universities will be offering those, so check out our websites.
Great, thank you so much. Cardiff University.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with all those things, but I definitely also recommend reaching out to us. So every university is going to have a version of us as a representative for your country. And we're a really good resource because even if we don't know the answer to your question, we'll be able to find the person who does and kind of signpost you to the relevant parts of the university. So it's a good way for you to get all your questions answered. I know for myself, I'm always happy to arrange a one-to-one Zoom or email if you prefer. And I think it's just a good way for you to have that main point of contact that you know is always there for any questions that you have.
Great, excellent points. Next, American University of Paris.
Yes, so I would say to study abroad at least for 1 year. So of course, all of us today are full-fledged universities where you can earn your degree abroad. But when I was a student, I only studied abroad for 1 semester, and I felt like it wasn't enough. I was just kind of getting in the swing of everything, and then I had to go home. So I would say study abroad at least 1 full year, but you'll likely want to study longer because you'll very likely fall in love with these universities and want to stay more permanently.
Awesome. And last, University of East Anglia.
Cool. So going last, I think everyone's kind of covered the things that I'd like to talk about. So I'd say in terms of research and all the research you can do right now, I'd say maybe spend a bit of time focusing on the city or the location where you're going to be going to, and maybe not so much the university course, because obviously you can spend a lot of time researching the university and the subject, but maybe, yeah, look into the city in more detail. Does it have the kind of facilities? Does it have the kind of social life, the entertainment that you'd want going forward? Because obviously you're going to be spending a lot of time there. So yeah, maybe research the location as well as the university and the course.
Great, all excellent points. I want to remind our attendees, if you guys have any questions, the Q&A feature is open. Feel free to pop them in. It could be about what you're hearing now or what you heard before, or really just anything. Our reps would be more than happy to answer those. But in the meantime, let me ask the next question. What is your favorite event or tradition on your campus? And again, we will get started with Anglia Ruskin University.
So my favourite event is the Cambridge Festival, which is an annual festival that ARU joint hosts with, it's mainly Cambridge University, 350 different sessions and activities that take place over a week, and any manner of different things sort of covered. So yeah, lots of things happening in that week of festival. Great.
University of Essex.
My favourite event or tradition at Essex is an event called One World Essex. So I mentioned that one of my favourite things about Essex is just how international the university is. And so One World Essex is a week-long celebration, basically, of all our 140 plus nationalities on campus. So there's an international food festival, there is a parade of flags, there's international workshops and help with CV, so and advice as well for students that want to stay in the UK, and it basically just finishes off with a huge international party. So yeah, One World Essex is my favourite tradition.
Great. Cardiff University.
Thanks. So I'm going to bend the rules a little bit because this is more of a Welsh tradition, but it's something that Cardiff University students get involved with every year, and it does kind of move around the country. But Wales has a tradition called an Eisteddfod, which is an annual festival. It's been going for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's a festival of the arts, really, so literature, music, dancing. And it's something that is quite unique to Wales, so it's definitely something to look out for if you're studying here. And yeah, definitely one of my favourite things about being Welsh is the Eisteddfod.
Great. American University of Paris.
Even though AUP is an American university located abroad, students do have class on American holidays, but not on French holidays. So I'm mentioning that because one of my favorite traditions is our annual Thanksgiving potluck dinner feast. It takes place where we were founded, really close by the university, and everyone brings the turkey, the cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, green beans, biscuits, all that traditional Thanksgiving food. So even though you would have class on Thanksgiving, we do have a nice celebration in the evening.
Awesome. And again, University of East Anglia.
Yeah, so my favourite tradition actually involves one of the universities here with us today. So it's the Derby Day, where UEA will compete against the University of Essex in a series of sporting events. So it rotates from year to year. So one year it'll be at Essex, next year it'll be at UEA, and we compete in a number of different sports. And it's a really great day where all the students who aren't taking part will be watching and cheering on their university. So it's a really great kind of social event with two universities coming together and UEA usually winning. So yeah, that's my favourite event on campus, I'd say.
Excellent point to sneak in there at the end. All right, looks like we do have time for one more question. So I want everyone, if you could, just give an interesting or fun fact about your school. And we'll start at the top again with Anglia Ruskin University.
I'm going to go completely random here. Cambridge is full of sort of green spaces, all of which have funny names like Parker's Piece and Midsummer Common. But on one of our sort of areas of common land, there's a herd of cows that are so popular, they've even got their own Twitter account. So if you want to check it out, it's called Cambridge Cow.
That one's fun. I like that one. Next, University of Essex.
Fun fact about Essex is that we have our very own campus cat. So we have a cat called Pebbles who lives on campus, and he's a bit like a celebrity. People or students go pretty mad for him. He's kind of like our mascot. But yeah, we have a cat on campus called Pebbles. Great.
Cardiff University.
So this is definitely erring towards more interesting than fun, I would say, but we have two Nobel laureates at Cardiff who have worked at Cardiff, and we also have some really well-known alums as well. So one in particular that I think is interesting for the US audience is the just recently former president of ABC News is a Cardiff University alum.
Great. American University of Paris.
Our unofficial mascot is the peacock. Not really sure why. Maybe the like the pretty, I would say, nice bird represents like diversity on the campus, so to speak. But I would think, yeah, I mean, with our student media center, it's actually named after like peacocks. So Peacock Play, the Peacock Plume, or Peacock Magazine, but not the official mascot, just unofficial on the side.
Great. And lastly, University of East Anglia.
Yeah, I'd say, well, I kind of mentioned it already in my presentation when I spoke about the Avengers filming on campus. So to kind of think of something else. So we also had the Queen visited. So the Queen visited maybe around 3 or 4 years ago now, opening up an exhibition of art in the Sainsbury Centre. So we've had the Avengers and we've had the Queen. So yeah, who knows who's going to be next to visit.
Awesome. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to say that's all we have for you guys today. I want to thank each and every one of our panelists for showing up and walking us through and teaching us more about your institutions. For our attendees, thank you again so much for joining us. When you head out and you close out of this room, there will be a quick 4-question survey. If you wouldn't mind filling that out, we'd really appreciate it. It allows us to improve upon our programs, and we do really appreciate any feedback that we get. As I mentioned at the beginning, there are a couple more hours of this fair today, so feel free to sign up for more sessions. And lastly, recordings will be available at strivescan.com/Carolinas in a couple days. So if you missed any notes here or you missed any other schools that you wanted to hear present during this hour, feel free to head there and check out those recordings. So that's all I have. We do have about a minute left, so I'll leave the room open. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. But I will close the room at the 45-minute mark. So again, thank you everyone for being here, and last call on getting your questions answered. Thanks so much. And if you don't have any questions to our attendees, feel free to head out and fill out that survey. Thank you. Alrighty, guys. So it looks like all of our attendees did leave the room. Thank you so much for taking the time today, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.